Yeah, wow. Huh? What a college football game, right? um, yeah, man, just proud of how our kids keep fighting. You guys saw that all of last year on how hard we fight. It was kind of looking like last year a little bit. Kind of sloppy first half. There was some kind of unfortunate bounces that occurred. But, the mentality that we've had over the last 2 weeks, is, a 3-second reset and move on to the next play. There's so many opportunities in a game of football. That's a quality football team right there. They're 3-1 for a reason. They're talented guys. They're talented coaches. I'm telling you, it was really hard to move the ball on those guys. It took, we had 76 plays for about 399 yards, and literally it took every single call on our call sheet just to get to that point. I thought we had some great adjustments in that fourth quarter into the overtime. Just talking with some tempo runs that we got them with a little bit, but man, you had to fight for every single yard versus that team. But our kids, you lose all those guys due to COVID protocols and injuries, and you get them back, and you can be competitive. You can, and we're still getting better. We had Russell Baker back out there. You had Toe Groves out there a little bit. We're starting to get back to full health, and it's coming at a perfect time because you got 7 more conference games, and every single game moving forward is going to be like that. You just look at how college football is. It's going to be a pretty interesting ride, but just so proud of those kids, man. They fight till the end. I think you guys probably saw the energy on the sidelines, how they're just in each other's huddles, and they're cheering for each other. They're like, in times, sometimes adversity and negative things can be contagious, and you need to have somebody help you through it all, and that's what we did. We ended up holding them on making punt, and we had the whole team out on the field, and I was more trying to get them off on the sideline before we got a penalty and got them back the ball. But, I'll take that any day. Those guys played for each other. They've been through a lot of adversity. They don't bat an eye. They show up. They work. They understand that we still got a lot of work to do, and we're going to continue to get better, and just the mindset in there is fun watching them celebrate. But then, we had our moment, and then it was like, all right, it's on to Troy. And that was coming from them. They understand to enjoy tonight, and then we got to get back to work tomorrow, and we got to get better as a football program. But those types of wins, man, those can really change the momentum of the season, because there's so many ups and downs and momentum swings in that, and we were just fortunate to come out on top, and we played the cleanest ball at the end of the game, and he's probably saying they played pretty good ball at the beginning of the game and not as clean at the end, So hats off to South Alabama. Solid team, solid program, and, just really happy for our kids. So, questions?
Coach, you seem a little out of breath. Were you guys celebrating quite a bit in the locker room after that one? What was it like in there for y'all?
Yeah, I'm completely out of breath in there, and all I was doing was jumping around with them. But, yeah, I got to get in shape. Is that where you're trying to insinuate right there? No, but, yeah, it was fun, man. You just go in there, and they're celebrating, and then we all get to celebrate, and you live for those moments. Those are the memories that you play the game for, and just to see everybody coming together and celebrating and jumping around and throwing water bottles everywhere and singing the fight song. That's why we put all this work into it. So, yeah, I probably need to get in shape too if we want to continue to do this.
I didn't mean any implications like that.
No, I know where you're at, Kev.
Was this a game y'all would have lost last year, you think?
I think so. And I think a lot of it had to do with that 3-second reset and showing right back up and playing the next play. Eastern Michigan game, I thought some of the momentum, and they got after us physically, and I thought some of the momentum just was contagious, and we just couldn't overcome it. But you got to keep showing up on every single play. You got to show up every single day. But you got to have a short-term memory in this game because college football's changed a lot. And there's a lot of different plays, a lot of scenarios that occur. You get penalties. We had a lot of penalties in the game. At times we had turnovers. A lot of people couldn't tank in those situations. We didn't. We showed up. We kept going. And, I think last year we would have lost that game. But, it just shows you that these kids, they're going to keep playing till the end, and they're starting to clean up their game.
What can you say about Brady? Turnovers in the first half. Looked like he was gimpy. Looked like he got hurt.
Yeah.
And basically willed you to win at the end.
Yeah, he, just proud of that kid, man. I'm seeing you come out, you throw 3 interceptions in the first half. The first one was maybe a little bit soon, and TJ kind of fell out of his break, and that was on a third down, and I believe it was like an 18 type of play. It was third down and 18. Then he come out to the second one in the score zone. We had two score zone interceptions that were pretty costly, But, he was there. We just had a miscommunication with the second window of a slant that I thought could have probably scored on that one. And then the last interception, that linebacker played and made an unbelievable play because the touchdown was open. We had Calvin on a pop play, and it was good. And Brady's got to get up maybe a little bit more, but that linebacker made a great play. So, the main thing is I was positive with him, because he did make a lot of plays out there today. He made a ton of plays. And he continues to fight. He's got a short-term memory. He loves this game more than anything. He loves his team. He's going to put everything on the line for this team, and that's why he's gimpy right now, because he's taking a lot of shots. He took a lot of shots in the Eastern Michigan game, and even the previous 4 games that we had. But again, he's there was one where I thought he was a little woozy, but he wasn't. He was he just was really mad and upset with the play call and the situation that we were in. And you move forward with it, man. And he's going to keep fighting till the end. You saw how he kept punching those in the overtimes, just fighting for the yards. He hit the one of them I thought was in. They replayed it, went back to it, and then he punched the other one in. And and those were tough to get. That's why I opted to kick the extra point at the end of regulation, because of how tough of a defense that is. You saw the struggle of just going against 3-point, the 2-point conversion competition. So. I knew that we were going to have to shoot all of our bullets at some point, and play for overtime. And, I'm just proud of how Brady just keeps competing, man, and keeps showing up. And he's going to fight until the final whistle blows.
So you talked about it a little bit earlier, but on Tuesday you said you had 15 guys back from COVID protocols and everything.
Oh, yeah.
How important is that, or was that in this game? And in general, was it all? Or how did it go from there?
If you have 15 kids out and you're too deep, that's tough for any program to overcome at times. But again, we don't have excuses for those. That thing. Like when you look at this game, you had DJ goes down for a couple plays, and you had a couple O linemen here and there, but you have depth. You got people to go in, get the breather, and get the guys back into the game, because it's a violent game, as you know, and it's hard to stay healthy through, especially a game like that. When everybody's putting everything on the line, and just to have that depth back, have the leadership back, just have more people on the sidelines, you could just tell the energy was on point, because you had majority of your team back, so it definitely helps.
Coach, how important were those kind of momentum plays by the defense tonight? It seemed like that's kind of really what started the comeback for you guys. I think it was the interception by Troy. Yeah,
Troy started it. I think Binky had a fumble recovery. I thought Sione, was in the mix on a lot of things. If I had to give the game ball out, I gave everybody a game ball, just because I thought that was just resiliency and just where we're at as a program. I thought that was a great opportunity for the whole team, because a lot of kids made plays in certain moments, but I thought Sione really rose to the occasion, man. Just proud of how he's playing right now. And but those defensive plays, it saved us. They played well enough in the first half. We put them in some really bad spots with the 3 picks. But then they came back and they got us the ball back. That's a tough game. It's a grinded out game. You have to bring a physicality on every single play on the style of ball that they have. And then you just got to keep showing up offensively when you get these turnovers and just play off those momentum swings. You guys have heard me talk about momentum swings like crazy, and that was a prime example of it. We fed off the momentum of the defense, and the offense kept capitalizing, and we finally played team football.
Coach. So last year I talked to you about your offensive line, and you told me it was really important to get that unit moving as one. Now, you went through a lot of changes. Now this season, a whole year and 5 games later, do you feel like they're finally moving in that direction?
Yeah, I think this was the first game that we went through the entire season with the same O-line that we started the game with. I'll have to go back and look, but we had 4 different starting lineups in the first 4 games, and we never finished with that starting lineup, just because of the injuries and COVID protocols, all that good stuff. And we finally got Russell Baker back. You got Russell back, and he started at right tackle. That allowed, Liam Dobson to go to left guard, because they had some great interior guys that we need to put some bigger bodies on. Fletcher's been consistent the whole year. Dalton's had a separated shoulder, as you probably see him running off the field holding it. So, but the thing is those 5 are playing together, and the continuity has got to be there, and it's one of the hardest things I think in sports is to get 5 guys to play as one, like we've talked about before. And that was the first night where I thought the continuity of the offensive line was the best it's been, and we're going to have to continue to build off that and stay healthy and just keep repping and practicing and getting better, because, it's good to see Big Russ back out there, because I thought he played extremely well.
new wrinkle this season with the 2-point shootout after 3 overtimes. What was it like going up against that? Did it change at all your approach to calling plays?
It made it actually kind of easier, to be honest with you, because you prepared for it. You knew what play calls you were going to call. You've been repping them. Now like the hard part is that I've already wasted 3 of them, so I got to go back, and find some new stuff that we're going to get to. But yeah, it's a very interesting concept. I understand why. I was kind of, I'm on the NCAA rules committee, and we've had this discussion a lot. And if you saw how exhausted both teams were in that second overtime, and we were tempoing, and like it was getting sloppy, and you could tell that the injuries started occurring. I think they lost their starting center on, one of those plays, and a couple more guys down because like you're just so mentally and physically exhausted by that point. It makes more sense to get to a 2-point, competition. So, looking back at it now, I'm a big fan of it.
Coach, I had somebody text me. They saw on the broadcast after that missed field goal in overtime that Peeler kind of turned to you and said something. And do you remember what he said in that moment?
Man, I can't remember exactly, but Seth missed a field goal. Great, it just hit the upright, and last year we had that experience, in the UTSA game, but this time we actually won the game, and that one went into overtime. It was like, last year I could have said, here we go again, but it's that 3-second reset. We've been I was actually like buying into what I was saying to the team, like, all right, hey, let's move on to the next play, like you can't do anything about it now, and then we get the fumble, so. I kept telling the guys, like, at some point the ball's going to bounce our way and good things are going to happen. If you look at how, like, the style of how we win games, I've never been a part of anything like this. I've been a part of so many overtime games here in my 3 years. I think it's like my 4th one. Yeah, but it is what it is. You got to just keep fighting forward. I got a great staff. They got to, and they're very optimistic. They're going to try to put these kids in the best position. They show up every single day, and Peeler was probably saying something, about, hey, this is what's going to happen. We're going to win this game and, move forward. And then I just went on the set and just said, hey, we're going to need you again. And, Seth's going to make that field goal for us again. I promise you.
Even with the 3 picks at halftime, and he finished the game pretty strong, but was there any thoughts at halftime with switching to another quarterback, or were you gung-ho going with Brady?
No, I was gung-ho on it just because of the type of, like, what happened. Like the first pick, if you watch TJ, he falls out of his break. And Brady was a little bit inside with it, where we've been telling him to kind of get inside with it. He fell out of his break. The second one, you probably could have had, like, that was probably more like we'll take the ownership with Brady on that one. The last one, man, I'm telling you, it was a great play. I thought it was a touchdown. I started to celebrate, and then I saw the ball running the other direction because I was like, who intercepted it? And, the backer cut it. And we had a GT play going to the field. We had Calvin on a lead pop. And Calvin beat the safety, slipped inside, and then the backer that was underneath us, filling on the run, jumped up and picked it. So if they were pretty bad picks on Brady, I would have definitely considered, where you're at and moving another direction. But the kid has a short-term memory, and I knew he was going to be fine. He doesn't get rattled with this stuff. He understands where he's, that he's got to take care of the ball a little bit better. And then he gets frustrated with that, but there was no hesitation because I knew that kid was going to go make some plays, and he was the guy that everybody wanted to have the game ball in the locker room, because he fights, man. He fights, and he helped win us that game.
A great defensive game for y'all. This one, it seems like there was a few changes out there. Tupou looked like he started. Cordell Rogers at corner. Torrey Spears at safety. Do you feel like some of these changes kind of added up to a good combination that led to success tonight?
We're just getting our guys back, man. I'm telling you, Rod's been out. Rod was out really the last 2 games. COVID protocols, Savion as well. You look through it all. I was just pleased with how they played. You got Binky over here. Binky played like his hair's on fire now. He was running through, making tackles, making plays, being energetic. Sione rose to the occasion. I love watching the fight of these guys, man. And you get your depth back, you can move guys around, and you can keep the same play calls, instead of, all right, hey, this one's in, this guy's never done this, we gotta protect him here, we probably need to rush 3 and drop 8 because we played a day where we can just play a base defense, instead of trying to protect people, or guess that if it's a pass or if it's a run, and hopefully and that gets hard, like sometimes when teams are running the ball in a 3-down front and we're dropping 8, it puts a ton of stress on those defensive linemen, but they understand that. But now we can play some 4-down front. We can, we can press a little bit more. You had more bodies. You can kept doing a lot of things. So you saw more variety of stuff, so I'm just pleased with just how the defense, got us the ball back as much as we could, and how many bad positions that we put them in offensively, we still came out and came out with a win.
Coach, you said you mentioned this is your 4th overtime as a head coach. I'm curious kind of what your approach is heading into overtime to kind of keep your players calm in that moment, because I know you said in weeks past you feel like the teams played a little tight, and it didn't seem like that was the case tonight.
No, they did not play tight at all at any moment of this entire game. And we had things going against us, and we just kept showing back up, and overtime, man, overtime's interesting. The FIU game, our backs was against the wall the entire 4th quarter. We made an unbelievable attempt this game to actually come from behind and get into it. So now you get to overtime, it's a new game, and the momentum and the energy and everything's different, It's different when you're on the other end where they come back and, they force an overtime. So then it's just a lot of psychological deal, and it's all about making sure that we stick together as a team, and we did.